Okay, good morning. Happy day after the 2026 primary election.
That's right.
And Commissioner, you deserve a break, so I just want to say thank you for everything you do and for putting your name out there and all the discussion that you created in the state.
You're welcome. It was a great experience.
All right, so I'm going to open a Marion County Board of Commissioners meeting. It is Wednesday, May 20th, 2026. It's 9 a.m. Well, it's now 9:10, and we're in the Senator hearing room at Courthouse Square. And as always, we start with the Pledge of Allegiance, if you'll join us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. And we're going to, we have nobody signed up for public comment this morning, so we're going to start off with a proclamation. And Sergeant Clausen is here to get us going. Alvin, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am happy to be here again. For the record, my name is Alvin Clausen. I am the Government Relations Manager for Marion County. And today I'm going to be proposing a proclamation honoring Gold Star families for awareness for the month of May. But before I start that, I wanted to just explain what a Gold Star family is. A Gold Star family is a family who lost a loved one in service to this nation in the armed forces of the United States of America. It could be a father, a mother, a son, a daughter, a wife, a husband. Their sacrifice did not end on the battlefield. It lives on every day in the hearts of those families. These families carry the weight that most Americans will thankfully never understand. They are the families who answered the call to serve this nation alongside their loved ones and endure unimaginable cost of that service. And while we can never repay them for that sacrifice, it's our responsibility to honor them. Here in Marion County, we know these families personally. One of those heroes was Lance Corporal Ty Hart, United States Marine. Ty was from the Santiam Canyon, and his family still calls Marion County home today. In January of 2016, at the age of 21 years old, Ty was one of 12 Marines that was killed in a training accident in a nighttime helicopter collision. By every account, Ty embodied the spirit of service, friends, and described him as energetic, humbled, and hardworking, and the kind of person who will always help others. He loved his family, he loved his community, and he loved serving this country. When he was finally laid to rest on his family's property in Almsville, hundreds gathered to honor him, a reminder of what the one family bears in the deepest pain. An entire community shares that loss. It matters that is why we recognize Gold Star families. It matters because every fallen service member is forever changed. It matters because freedom has a human cost. And it matters because remembrance is not just about honoring the fallen, it's about honoring the family members who have lost someone. I also want to take a moment today before we declare this proclamation to honor somebody in the board's office, Matt Lawyer. On his own personal time, as a Navy veteran, he has led an effort to bring Oregon its first Gold Star Family Memorial. I am very proud of him and all the work he does. He understands the cost that these families pay, and he understands the pain that they have. And because of that, he worked diligently to get the memorial that's on this slideshow constructed to honor those families and the sacrifices they've made. So today, I would ask for you to consider this proclamation, considering May as Gold Star Family Awareness Month.
Great. Thank you. And I introduced you as Sergeant, and I always say that to you every time I go by his office in the morning. I don't say good morning AJ, I say good morning, Sergeant, and thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Commissioner, any comments, or you want to?
Happy to make the motion.
Yeah, great.
All right, I move to approve a proclamation designating the month of May 2026 as Gold Star Awareness Month in Marion County.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
All right, before the Board of Commissioners for Marion County, Oregon, in the matter of proclaiming the month of May 2026 as Gold Star Awareness Month in Marion County. This matter came before the Marion County Board of Commissioners at its regularly scheduled public meeting on May 20th, 2026. Whereas Gold Star families are those families who have lost a loved one while on active duty in service to the United States Armed Forces, bearing a profound and enduring sacrifice on behalf of our nation. And whereas it is the duty of Marion County to recognize and honor the families who carry the legacy of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of freedom. And whereas Gold Star families' memorial monuments, like those established through the vision of Medal of Honor recipient Herschel Woody Williams and the Woody Williams Foundation, provide permanent places of remembrance, reflection, and education for communities to honor fallen service members and their families. And
Whereas on February 7, 2026, the city of Kaiser, located within Marion County, became the first community in the state of Oregon to host a Woody Williams Foundation Gold Star Families Memorial Monument, demonstrating leadership in honoring and supporting Gold Star families from Oregon and across our region. And whereas these memorials stand as enduring symbols of gratitude and serve to educate the public about the sacrifices made by Gold Star families, ensuring their loved ones are never forgotten. And whereas designating the month of May as Gold Star Families Month provides an opportunity for all residents of Marion County to reflect, remember, and express appreciation for these families. And now, therefore, the Marion County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Gold Star Families Month in Marion County, and encourages all residents to honor Gold Star families through remembrance, education, and acts of gratitude. And it's right that we're doing this just the weekend before Memorial Day.
Absolutely. And I highly recommend any of Marion County residents to go visit that memorial in Kaiser. It's right at Kaiser Station, so you can grab in and out right afterwards, but it is absolutely beautiful, and
it's near the train car,
it is.
just for point of reference.
And right during sunset, it is absolutely beautiful the way the sun hits that memorial, so
Thank you, AJ.
absolutely.
Yeah, and thanks to Matt in our office for
Yeah.
pulling that all off. All right, but if you want to take a photo, come down there.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Good.
Thank you for your service, buddy.
I don't think this is quite as long as the one when Kevin was gone.
All right. Commissioner, we don't have to argue over the consent calendar today unless you want me
You
to
know,
make the
I never argue. Happy to always let someone else do it,
Right.
but today I'm happy to do it.
Okay, we'll take a motion.
All right, I move to approve the consent agenda under Board of Commissioners OLCC license. Recommend approval for Sosa Ventures LLC DBA Micheladas I don't even know how to say that. Antojitos El Pericio? Pretty close?
Close enough.
Clerk's office, approve amendment number 1 to the contract for services with Creative Security to add $80,000 for a new contract total of $155,000 and extend the term date to December 31st, 2027 for security services to support Marion County elections. Under Community and Economic Development, approve a resolution to establish the Community and Economic Development Tourism Grant Program for the benefit of residents in economic development in Marion County and replace the previously established Resolution 26R-5 that was approved on March 25th, 2026. Under Health and Human Services, approve Amendment Number 1 to the Incoming Funds Future Ready Oregon Bilingual Behavioral Health Initiative Subaward with Western Oregon University to decrease federal grant funding in the amount of $115,087.72 for a new subaward total of $388,706.07, utilized to provide real-world earn-to-learn apprenticeship experiences for students identified and referred to Western Oregon University through June 30th, 2026. Under Legal Counsel, approve the ratification of Board Order 26-043 pertaining to a memorandum of understanding with the United States Bureau of Land Management signed at a public meeting held on March 17th, 2026. Under Public Works, receive notice of the hearings officer's decision approving zone change subdivision case number 26-002, Antonio Diaz. Approve an order authorizing the expenditure of county road funds for emergency maintenance activities on, is it Cuban Road Southeast, a local access road located in the unincorporated area of Marion County. Approve an intergovernmental agreement with Yamhill County that replaces a 2003 agreement and specifies the cost-sharing provisions between the counties for Marion County's operation and maintenance of the Wheatland Ferry effective July 1st, 2026. Approve a construction contract with Summit Solutions Group, LLC, in the amount of $242,470 to provide construction and other site improvements for up to 6 existing radio communication sites for the Marion County Radio Project that will be utilized by first responders through July 31st, 2026. Under Sheriff's Office, approve the All-Terrain Vehicle Grant Program Agreement with the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department in the amount of $243,490, of which an estimated $194,792 will utilize incoming grant funding, and an estimated $48,698 will utilize county funds to provide 1 full-time position dedicated to patrolling areas open to off-highway vehicles within Marion County effective July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. And approve Amendment Number 2 to the Incoming Funds Intergovernmental Cooperative Agreement with the Oregon State Marine Board to add $63,193.50 for a new agreement total of $397,588.50 to provide law enforcement services related to recreational boating through June 30th, 2027. Under Tax Office, approve an order for a property tax refund for the City of Kaiser tax account 519938 in the amount of $34,318.12.
I will second your motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. That is done. And we have a public hearing posted for starting no earlier than 9 a.m. So I'm going to open a public hearing to consider a zone change, a comprehensive plan change, case number 26-01, TIBA Incorporated. And I will read this statement just so everybody understands the procedure here. The board has had the opportunity to review the documents contained in the record and has had no ex parte communications regarding this matter unless specifically disclosed. If there are any objections to notice, jurisdiction, or conflict of interest, the parties can raise them during testimony. Planning staff will list the applicable criteria for the application. Testimony and evidence must be directed towards the applicable criteria. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence may preclude appeal on that issue. Okay, so we're going to have...
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I just want to state for the record that I drive by this property every day, multiple times. So while I don't actually know the property owner, for the record, I have a very distinct visual of it.
Yeah, so thank you, Commissioner, for that. I do understand the area this property is located in. As I've done business out there, you go close to it when you go to our skirts. It's out in that area, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So with that, I will ask staff to come forward, and they're already here.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good
Morning, Alex.
For the record, this is Alex Cipher, 5155 Silverton Road, Northeast Salem, Oregon. The criteria upon which this decision, on which this application will be based include Marion County Code, Chapter 17.123, Zone Change Procedures, Marion County Code, Chapter 17.136, Exclusive Farm Use Zone, Marion County Chapter 17.145, Commercial Zone, the Marion County Comprehensive Plan sections for Rural Services Policies, the statewide planning goals, particularly Goal 3, and the Oregon Administrative Rules 660, Division 4, Goal Exception Process. Before I get started today, there is one additional piece of information that I will enter into the record now. What is being entered into the record now are a set of 4 maps that were provided. They show the surrounding zoning and comprehensive plans of the city of Salem and of Marion County respectively. This is to help provide a clearer idea and visual representation of the different types of zoning and comprehensive plan designations within the immediate area. And I think I might have accidentally given away my copy. Okay.
You got it?
Yep. So beginning, before us today is the application of TIBA Incorporated to change the zone from Special Agriculture, or SA, to Commercial, and to change the comprehensive plan designation from Special Agriculture to Commercial on a 24.88 acre parcel located at 5355 Gaffin Road Southeast, Salem. The property is located on the northeastern side of Gaffin Road Southeast and the south side of Culver Drive, approximately 2,900 feet northeast of Gaffin Road's interchange onto SR 22. Existing development on the parcel includes 5 large warehouse/storage structures that were created as part of an approval of land use case, conditional use 92-18, for a hay compaction and storage facility. Additionally, there is also a 1992 dwelling located on the property. The property has been the subject of 2 previous land use cases, the aforementioned conditional use 92-018 and also conditional use 20-038, and is considered legal for land use purposes. There are no streams, floodplains, or geohazards present on the parcel, although the applicant states that there are some mapped wetlands on the parcel. It is generally flat and does not present environmental hazards. Surrounding properties are a mix of uses involving residential, industrial, and smaller scale agricultural operations. Properties directly to the west and north are zoned Special Agriculture, which contain a mixture of small acreage residences and small scale farming operations, essentially all being less than 15 acres in size. All other adjacent parcels are located within the city of Salem limits and developed with industrial uses. These include an Amazon locker facility, RV storage, and a Salem-Keizer School District transportation center. The Planning Division requested comments from various agencies and interest groups regarding the proposal. Those that provided comments were Marion County LDEP, Marion County Building, and Friends of Marion County. Additionally, 2 comments in support of the proposal were received after the publishing of the staff recommendation but prior to the hearings officer's hearing of this proposal. At this time, I will also mention that there were 3 sets of comments that have come in since the hearings officer hearing this proposal. One was from DLCD, another from an additional comment from Friends of Marion County, and then a response by the applicant's representative to those 2 comments. Both the DLCD and Friends of Marion County comments were in opposition of the proposal. The applicant has submitted a site plan and application statement which both show how the proposal is consistent with the zone change and comprehensive plan change criteria, and how the proposal qualifies for both an irrevocably committed and physically developed exception to statewide planning goal 3, agricultural lands. The applicants described how there is significant industrial and commercial development within the area, particularly on the parcels inside of the City of Salem's urban growth boundary, showing how commercial uses are consistent with other existing uses in the immediate area. It was shown how the subject property is disconnected from neighboring farm operations by 2 roads, the neighboring industrial development, and hydric or wetland type soils that are not suitable for commercial agriculture. Lastly, the applicants analyzed the neighboring parcels in the resource uses and found that the subject parcel is the largest of all parcels in the area zoned for resource use, and that none of the existing farm operations are of a large scale or could easily incorporate the subject parcel into their existing operation. Staff found that the proposal meets the required criteria for a zone change and comprehensive plan change, requiring an exception to Goal 3, and in consideration of the submitted additional comments from DLCD and Friends of Marion County, the staff's position has not changed, and we still find and recommend approval of the application and stand with the recommendation of approval by the Marion County Hearings Officer. With that, I will stand for any questions you may have.
Great. Commissioner Bethel, any questions for
None.
Alex? One, is it, I mean, in all these land use cases that I've seen since I've been here, it's the first time I've ever seen a letter in the file that basically from DLCD that says, here, we disagree with this decision that the hearings officer made even before it's ever been appealed to them or to LUMA. Is that normal? And I see Austin's here, and staff, is that normal that we would get a letter like that ahead of time?
My understanding is, so we sent out the request for comment period as we were writing the initial recommendation for the hearings
you have to
officer.
do. Yeah.
This is DLCD's response to that. They are rather later on the ball in terms of getting these submitted to us. It is not uncommon where we will receive their comment intended before the hearings officer's recommendation to come later on. And we have had situations, even in zone changes, if I'm not mistaken, where they have disagreed with the proposal and said that they did not feel it met the requirements for a zone change, comprehensive plan change, or goal exception, most notably the goal exception process. In this situation, we disagree with a couple of different aspects of the DLCD comments that they made on this. The first disagreement that we have and that I will point out is that they posit that there was a reasons exception made for the goal exception. There was not a reasons exception made by the applicant in this particular proposal. So I think that the applicant mentions in their statement the 3 different types of goal exception routes that you can take, which are irrevocably committed, physically developed, and reasons. I think that they read that section and mistook it for the applicant saying that there was a reasons exception proposed here. But we did not base the approval or the recommendation for approval on that issue.
Great.
So that was point 1 of contention that they brought up. The second one was they state that they felt that there was not sufficient support to show that the site was irrevocably committed to non-farm uses. They specifically point out a lack of addressing recent changes to the property or in the area, because as they rightfully point out, the site had been used for purposes of agriculture. In this case, commercial use in conjunction with agriculture, that conditional use that resulted in the significant current development of the property. That is a use that is still permitted within the SA zone. And so that's not a reason that the development for that permit is not something that can necessarily be used as a primary driving reason why the parcel should be zone changed, and why it can meet an exception for irrevocably committed. What we have to look at is, are there other more recent changes in the area or to the parcel that aren't related to that still approvable process in the zone that cause this to be irrevocably committed?
Understand, okay.
And so we felt that we did sufficiently, although maybe not in the language or way DLCD wanted, point out that there was additional development that has happened in that area, especially since the approval of that conditional use in conjunction with agriculture in 1992, that has caused irrevocable commitment of the parcel. Specifically, we call out the zone changes that were done recently in the area, as recently as, I believe it was 2022 or 21, as well as the development of the Amazon locker facility, which came after the
92.
conditional uses, and other development that has taken place within the city of Salem, just in that area in general.
Like Salem Kaiser's bus lot?
Exactly. Like those are newer developments that
You cited.
Pretty
yeah.
substantial where you
we
can't farm on
cited.
them.
We just may have not said that these are, we may have not stated the explicit language of these are recent developments, or made a section calling out recent developments in the way that DLCD wanted, but we still feel that we touched, and the applicant touches
Great.
on these elements.
Well, that's good. If we don't have any questions right now for staff,
I
we can
don't.
always have you come back up. We will ask the applicant to do the presentation, and I'm not sure if that's Chad or Lindsay. You're both signed up.
Chad is,
Yeah,
are you gonna do? Okay, he's a fly on the wall today.
okay. Oh, in case we need something from code enforcement? Right, okay. Sure. Lindsay?
Good morning.
Wow.
Morning.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Too.
I feel like it's been too long, and it's weird sitting in this table instead of that table. For the record, my name is Lindsay King. I'm the applicant's representative with Pacific Northwest Planning, and we're here today to present the proposal for a comprehensive plan amendment, zone change, and goal exception to Goal 3. As staff pointed out, the property is located on Gaffin Road, right off SR 22. It has 5 large commercial buildings and 1 manufactured home, totaling about 80,000 square feet of building area. The rest of the property has wetlands and some forested area, treed area, I wouldn't call it forest. And the north half of the property is a gravel lot covered with blackberries and weeds and things like that, where the old hoop houses used to be for the hay storage of the commercial structure or commercial operation. More than 17 of the 24.88 acres have been dedicated to this commercial use, with the remaining acreage consisting of that wetland or poorly drained soils. The applicant submitted site photos for reference. Within a half mile of the subject property, there's multiple industrial and commercial uses, including a large rurally commercial zone land to the east within the county that was done, I believe, in 22 or 20 or 20, between 20 and 22. There's the school district, transportation center, Amazon warehouse and delivery center, multiple RV sales and storage lots. And then south of 22, there's the correctional facility and public safety training facility, showing that there is an extensive amount of commercial and industrial development existing in that area. We did review all adjacent agricultural parcels within a 1-mile radius of the subject site, having approximately 10 acres or more in size. It varied, so I did kind of give or take 2 acres. Within that 1 mile, there were 19 parcels that met that threshold, and the closest special agricultural zoned parcel is adjacent to the subject site, but not actively farmed, which the property owner of that parcel testified in front of the hearings officer. It no longer was viable for what they were farming. They had beehives, and those have since all perished, unfortunately. Nearby parcels, include small grasses, berries, equine activities, but according to Goal 3, do not qualify as significant agricultural operations, which are typically 80 acres in size, which is one of the reasons why we have that minimum 80 acres for high-quality soils in Marion County. Larger, more productive farm properties were located farther away and separated by major roadways or developed land being either commercial or industrial. The parcel itself cannot reasonably be returned to productive farmland as the cost would be too high. The northern half of the parcel being gravelled would be a huge undertaking in removing all of the gravel, remediation of the soils to create a soil that is has nutrients and is good enough for any sort of production, not to mention removing any buildings which have concrete and asphalt around them. We did have a real estate professional representing the applicant who is purchasing in talks of purchasing the property, affirm that with a letter that was submitted to the record. This property has been advertised as a farm parcel, but also as a commercial property because of that commercial use of conjunction permit from 1992. However, based on discussions with that real estate professional, there have been no positive outcomes of, yes, let's turn this back into a productive farm operation. With that, the applicant does believe that the proposal is consistent with the applicable criteria, and it reflects the existing development patterns in the area and represents an appropriate justification for the reclassification of the subject property. Therefore, we kindly request the approval of the goal exception, the comprehensive plan amendment, and zone change. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, questions for Lindsay?
No.
All right. I don't have any questions. How far is the city limits from this piece of property? Right across the street, if I read the file correctly.
It touches the eastern property line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the eastern property line, which is that Amazon facility, and then directly to the south, which is the Salem-Keizer, I can't talk to him, so sorry.
Yeah.
Salem-Keizer School District Transportation, and there's RV sales and lot. I'm not entirely sure of the name.
There isn't a name. It's just like Gaffin Road RV storage.
Yeah.
It's been there. The guy that owns it's literally lived on that property for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember it being anything other than what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Good. Thank you.
So-
Chad, wait,
You have to
you're gonna
come
have
to
to
the
come up to
microphone.
the microphone and introduce yourself, but you are signed up, so I would love to call Chad up, our code
She's
enforcement.
fine. She'll come back.
Well, we can always have her come back. You're good.
It's allowed.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome. Just introduce yourself for the record and appreciate all you do, Chad.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Chad Goffin. I'm Code Enforcement Officer for Marion County Sheriff's Office. My address is 100 High Street, Northeast, Salem, Oregon. I have no pro or con on this property. I just had one question for Lindsay. Maybe I missed it as far as what the the zone change is going to be used for.
Okay. And just for the record, I don't know that the zone, what use it's going to be doesn't enter into the decision we're going to make regardless, but we can have Lindsay come back and answer that question.
Right, it is irrelevant to whether
Right,
we make a decision
yeah.
or not.
But
Again,
it
Lindsay.
may be relevant to our code enforcement people in the
Yeah.
future, but not for this decision. Yeah.
Again, for the record, Lindsay King. The commercial use, the rural commercial designation allows for agricultural and forestry uses on the commercial level outside of commercial use in conjunction with farm, which is what the applicant is proposing. And I wanted to add that the rural commercial zone is less intense. Any use in the rural commercial zone is less intense than the existing uses to the east and south that are industrially zoned or commercial zoned within the city. So we also felt that this would be a good buffer for, that
Yeah.
heavy industrial right there to the existing special ag to the west.
Okay. And I'm going to,
I have no idea what you just said.
I'm so sorry.
well,
I'm so sorry.
I mean, I'm just
it's
gonna be, I'm like,
it's
what?
it's a lighter footprint than some things that are going on out there is what.
It's gonna be less industrial-like.
And I'm-
It's a less intense commercial use, so it's the commercial designation that we're proposing is for rural properties.
Right.
So it's not like commercial, like Kaiser Station where it's, you've got Lowe's and In-N-Out and things like that. It's more smaller scale, less intense, where it doesn't have the impact that a downtown city core commercial would or
Okay.
something like that. So it's specifically designed to mesh well with the rural zones and the rural areas that we have in the county.
And I'm going to look to staff, if this is approved, because I think this is maybe Chad's concern, I don't know. They would have to still abide by all our ordinances as far as noise and those types of things that are in this particular area.
Correct, yes. Any development that occurs on this parcel after the proposed zone change would have to comply with all relevant zoning ordinances, both for the development and the types of uses that can occur there. Additionally, staff did recommend a specific condition of approval that was actually be applied that is stricter than what the zone requires. And that is additional screening requirements for neighboring properties. It can be found, and the hearings officer concurred with adding this in the recommendation. And that was number 3 on the recommended conditions of approval, that there be screening provided for neighboring resource use parcels to the same extent that neighboring residential parcels would be required.
Define screening.
For us in that particular section, and I will refer to the code section here. So it specifically says, side and rear yards abutting a residential zone shall be landscaped adjacent to parking and loading zones. So that means that there's going to be have to be some sort of landscaped buffer
Okay,
for it.
thank you. I just wanted you to put it on the record because there's more than one definition of screening.
Yeah, it's not the 100-foot baseball fence or whatever, yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's also not an additional review by planning staff to say you can and can't have this use. It's a buffer.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Let's see, we've got testimony. Nobody has signed up in opposition today. I don't know, legal, anything any comments you want to make, Steve, before we deliberate?
Does the applicant agree with the condition on screening?
Yes, the applicant does agree
Okay.
to all conditions proposed by the hearings officer and by staff.
Okay, then if the board decides to approve, I'd recommend the motion be to approve subject to the conditions as recommended by the hearings officer.
Yeah, okay. Good. Well, I'm going to just say this as we deliberate, Commissioner, that when you look at, and I think one of the things that was brought up by staff was the 92 versus here we are in 2026. What's that, 34 years later? The things that have happened around this piece of property. And the fact that it is in, it's adjacent to an industrial zone land, it's adjacent to the city limits, and the surrounding area has really become more like this, this particular piece of property is asking to be in this zone change. So those are the things that I look through the file and I say that there is support to make this, what was the term that were used in the irrevocably
Committed?
committed? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would say.
I agree with you. I think obviously I'm not a planning expert, but as I said when we started this hearing, spend every single day driving by this at least twice a day, and sometimes on weekends more. And I disagree entirely with the letter that was submitted by DLCD. I think they should take a drive out there and put their eyes on the dirt that they can't see because of the amount of gravel and asphalt and industrial use that is in this area. And I can't think of, I mean, it's stated in the record that it has been farmed for at least 6 years, or in a farm use for 6 years. Was
Correct.
it the current owner's farm use previous or ever?
So the farm use that ceased about 6 years ago was the commercial use in conjunction with farm.
Hay
By the
storage.
current
Yeah, the
owner?
hay storage and processing, there is no current farm, nor has there been any farm type operation since since 2020 when the commercial use in conjunction ceased.
Yeah.
So, and I know you said take a drive, but just in the record, it shows that. And that's what I'm basing my decision on, is the surrounding area that we have in the record that is basically changed this particular piece of property to be appropriately zoned and what they're asking for.
Yeah, and historically on this commission, we've had lots of conversation about Gaffin Road and its uses and improvements in partnership with the city. One of the things that was provided to us was the definition of OAR 660-004-00286CB. And it states in there, small parcels and separate ownership are more likely to be irrevocably committed if the parcels are developed, clustered in a large group, or clustered around a road designed to serve these parcels. Which is, I feel like this is designed, this is the exact setting, meaning that there is a nexus to this request. And I don't know anything about DLCD and how they do their research, but I feel like they missed that. And maybe it wasn't presented in the record when they reviewed it. So for me, I'm comfortable moving forward with approving the application, and if you're prepared, I can make a motion.
I will take a motion, and if we include legal counsel's recommendation to make sure that it includes
Yes.
the conditions that the hearing officer stated.
Okay, I move to close the public hearing and approve the recommendation by the hearings officer for zone change comprehensive plan change 26001 TIBA Incorporated, subject to the conditions by the hearings officer.
I'll second the motion. We good, Steve, with that? Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We have nobody that will oppose it. Okay. I think we're good. And Alex, thank you very much. I see Austin's been hovering over you the whole time with his thoughts.
It is my first time doing a board hearing, so.
You're doing a good job.
You know what? sometimes it feels like it's my first one too. Yeah. You did great. Okay, with that, I'm gonna close the public, well, we already did close the public hearing, but we're gonna be out of the public hearing for this. And any comments before we adjourn the board session? It is the day after the primary, and you have been just everywhere working your,
Yeah, obviously I didn't get the results I was hoping for last night, but I can tell you that, as most people are aware, I made an impact in Oregon, and I have, in the last 2 weeks specifically, made friends with members of the media I didn't know existed, national and local, and I think now is my opportunity to help people through their emotional space of it. I think what people who've never run for office don't understand is that I made a decision over a year ago to win or lose this race. And so it's, you know, you're taking a chance, and I'm really proud of the work that my team did. The ground that we covered, the education that I was able to provide to a lot of elected leaders who I think are lacking in their depth, and now have an opportunity to grow in that. But more importantly, I elevated counties in this last year in a way that...
last 3 years, you've been doing a lot.
Well, yeah. Being able to stand
role.
on national news stations in forums, because they wouldn't actually let me debate my opponents in the last one, skylighted what we do and why it's important to focus on local offices and know who you're putting into office, because they can really make or break the way your community thrives or not. And I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
I'm
So
really proud of the work we
it
did.
is a blue sky day. When I mean a blue sky.
I'm like, is it? It was pretty cloudy when I walked in here.
Well, no, it's when I say that in a personal way, it's a
Yeah.
blue sky day. And here's why I would say this. I've always said, and I know we're getting off a little bit on elections, and Steve's probably over here going crazy. I've always said election day is a victory either way.
Yeah.
Because you either get to go do that and serve, or you get to do something else and serve. And here's what I will say. I am thankful that you are here and you are serving. And my biggest fear was to lose you.
My phone, right? Since we've been here, I've got like 50 messages. I'm sure they all
I
say the
supported you
same
in everything, and people had asked me about it. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Not only to you, but to everybody who put their name on a ballot during this primary, and the people that step out there to do it. And as we all know, it takes 50 plus 1 to be elected. But after you're elected, you govern, and you get to serve. And I always say this: I get to serve 350,000 citizens of Marion County, not just those that voted for me or didn't vote for me.
Right.
So thank you for what you've done. I want to say thank you to everybody who put their name on a ballot. And there's some that are going to move forward in this process, and there's some that will find another place to serve. And I think that's the beautiful thing about election day is if we're not grabbing onto this, it's like the genuine spirit of service. So thank you for what you did.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right. And thank you for all of you that were here today serving the citizens of Marion County and the citizens of Marion County that are represented in this room. With that, we're adjourned.
I'm ready for a nap.
Yes, a couple weeks.